Welcome to Finding Your Identity in Your Autism Journey, the podcast where we explore complexities, breakthroughs, and unfiltered realities of the lives as touched by autism. I'm your host, Ruth Cassell, here to guide you through heartfelt stories, expert insights, and empowering conversations. Whether you're a parent or a sibling, an educator, or an advocate, this is your space to find community, ask the hard questions, and uncover new possibilities. Let's dive in. Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Finding Your Identity in Your Autism Journey. I'm your host, Ruth Cassell, and I can't even begin to express how excited I am to have you here. This is more than just a podcast, it's a space to connect, discover, and grow. Today, I want to share my why I started this podcast, what it means to me, and what I hope it will mean to you. This just isn't another autism podcast. It's about a heartfelt journey into the lives, stories, challenges that families face and are individuals that is touched by autism. Whether you're a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, an educator, professional, or someone on the spectrum, yourself, this podcast is for you. So, why am I here? Why did I decide to create Finding Your Identity in Your Autism Journey? To answer that, I'll have to start with my son, Elijah. My incredible nonverbal son has taught me more about love and patience and resilience than I ever thought possible. When we began this journey, I quickly realized just how much I didn't know. From navigating the diagnosis to exploring therapies, it felt like I was piecing a large puzzle together without a guide or without the front of the box. And it's him that brought understanding, even things about myself, and finding ways to support him and being his authentic self. Although my son is nonverbal, that does not mean he doesn't understand. My son also has apraxia, which makes it harder to accomplish speech. But my son has full understanding of language. We will dive a little deeper into these topics in later episodes. Because just because someone is nonverbal does not mean they do not have understanding. My son has taught me this. Some professionals do not agree with this, but I have been able to show and prove through homeschooling he does have understanding and capability to spelling to communicate. These are just some of the therapies that we are going to be talking about. Through it all, I have met some incredible families on this journey, professionals and advocates, each with their own story, struggles, and triumphs. And I thought to myself, what if there was a place where I could share our journeys, but also ask the hard questions and really dig deeper into root causes and the impacts that's on our loved ones. And that is how this podcast was born. This is a space for us to share real conversations about the messy, beautiful, and sometimes uncomfortable realities that we live with when walking on this journey with autism. It's about celebrating the victories, no matter how big or how small, and tackling the challenges head on. It's also about not losing yourself because there is so much put on to us. Motherhood can be so incredibly trying for any mother. We will put everything into our children and everything into all the things that they have going on. But sometimes we lose ourselves when we do that. We're going to be expanding on how you make your identity through and alternative therapies where they're pushing the boundaries in unexpected ways, looking at self-care strategies for the caregivers and the importance of that. We'll also explore emotional and financial aspects of autism, of your journey, and how navigating feelings of guilt and overwhelm as parents, and how to advocate for your child in the educational system, and maybe then looking at alternate means. And how do you manage your financial side from insurance, therapies, grants, long-term care planning? It's not about today. It's also about the future. And then there are stories where we'll have roundtable discussions with parents and grandparents and siblings. And I'm going to have them broken up into different categories so they're more relatable and in the moment. Because although you could listen to a podcast and it's great for now, it might not be relevant to you in 3 years. Or it might not be where you're at right now. But I want to take a look at it as a whole. Because my son, he's only 7, but he's going to be an adult before I know it. And I would love to have the insights and things that I need to look for before I need them, So that's the purpose of these roundtables, where parents, I want dads have their own segment, and moms, and siblings, because they get overlooked. My child, he's the only kid, but I know other siblings. And when you have multiple siblings that are on the spectrum, young adults, getting from their perspective as well. Sometimes they feel like they're just talked to and not allowed to speak. Having professionals, educators, and even grandparents, because sometimes they take on the role as well. We'll be exploring all these perspectives and their challenges and their victories and learning more from each other, building a community and finding hope. The one thing I really enjoyed when I was creating these roundtable discussions was that each episode, I was only going to allow up to 3 to 4 participants to be at our roundtables. That way, I had those more focused groups that I was just talking about, and every voice could be heard. Now, these episodes will be a little bit longer than normal. This podcast isn't just about easy answers or asking easy questions. It's about getting to the root cause and asking those hard questions or sometimes uncomfortable questions and finding your own path and building a life that feels authentic and empowering for you and your family. I'm taking a more like of a ecosystem approach to your whole entire family. If any of this resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe and join me on this journey. And don't stop here. share this podcast with someone who might need it, whether it's a fellow parent, teacher, friend. Just grow this community together. I promise it's going to be a heartfelt, honest, and inspiring ride as we go through this journey together. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you today. This is just the beginning, and I just can't wait to see where this journey takes us. Remember, your story matters. Your voice matters. And together, we can find our way. Until next week, take care and keep believing in possibilities. Today's episode of Finding Your Identity in Your Autism Journey is brought to you today by LifeWave X39 patches. As a parent of a child with autism, I am always looking for new tools that truly make a difference. Since my son has started using the LifeWave X39 patches, we have noticed incredible improvements. More joint attention, less aggression, and a reduction in his autism-related symptoms. I have started using them myself, and they've truly been a game changer for my energy, my focus, and my mood. These innovative patches use light to gently support your body's natural energy flow. For better wellness, try them out today and see a difference in yourself and even your kiddo. So you guys can visit my link below in the show notes to learn more and to support the show. Thank you for tuning in to Finding Your Identity in Your Autism Journey. I hope today's episode inspired you, brought you some clarity, or simply reminding that you are not alone. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and if you enjoyed this conversation, leave a review and share it with someone who might need it. Until next time, remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and together we can navigate this journey one step at a time.